Good afternoon, all the participants. Now we are starting our fourth day webinar, and I'm ICI mottos. I request all the participants to put their right hand on their heart. Now I request Chairman CA Fenil Shah to give his opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Vishen Bhai. Again, the speaker of the fourth day of this particular webinar series on RERA Ki Pathshala, Shri Ghanshyam Pathak ji, and our own secretary, sir, Shri Vishen Shah. I again welcome you and the members. I welcome you all to this particular fourth day, the second last day of this particular RERA Ki Pathshala series. And friends, we all are very excited, not only for today's session, but also for tomorrow's session. Because tomorrow's session is going to be very important because we are going to have panel discussion. So you all can be ready with your doubts and various clarifications which you seek from the department side. Apart from this, friends, this week we are coming out with various new type of webinars. One is on the webinar series on international taxation, which is starting day after tomorrow. Also various small webinars, not series but webinars on various crucial topics like payment gateways, independent directors, and various new webinars are launched. So you all can take the benefit of the same. With this brief words, I again request Ghanshyam Bhai to take the session forward. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends. This is the fourth alternate day. I am again in front of all of you to share my experiences. I was getting feedback that on certain topics I must see the details and elaborate on them. To be able to see in detail, I have tried and changed my spectacles. I have brought it to the them to the level of this chairman sir and secretary sir and chartered accountants. Maybe these are tiger eye frame. This is what spectacle guy told me, that it improves the vision. So with the improved vision, I would like to start. Let us recapitulate. Till last session, we have had seen Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, registration process, legal documents, technical verification of plan approvals and other documents. And now the very important document, that is Chartered Accountants Report on Means of Finances. Now, why this document is very important? Because friends, this document tries and encompass the entire real estate project financial planning and brings it into a one summarized table for promoter to oversee his project execution, for regulators to oversee the appropriateness of financial planning by the promoter, and also for the promoter and his advisors, various consultants, to empower the promoter to be able to visualize the challenges that he might face during the course of execution of real estate, specifically the financial challenges, requirement to infuse capital, the less than expected bookings leading to less than expected receivables from LOTs. What are the options available to him for borrowed resources, project loan, working capital loan, or secured? So all these aspects, promoter sit him, plan in advance, visualize them, evaluate his options with respect to his own wherewithal, entity's ability or individual's ability, past track record, market situation, size of the project, nature of the project, affordable, regular, mixed development, residential development, plotted development. And in all this, with all these parameters, he has to chart out a financial closure plan, which will empower him to ensure that the real estate project execution by the promised date, जो उसने डेट प्रॉमिस किया है डिलीवरी का, प्रोजेक्ट एंड का, वो डेट से पहले कंस्ट्रक्शन अटेंड कर लेने के लिए किसी तरह का फाइनेंशियल हिंड्रेंस ना हो, कोई लिक्विडिटी प्रॉब्लम ना हो, और इन केस देयर आर liquidity issues, yes, of aspect, then aware that what are the remedial actions that he can take. So friends, this is a very important document. Henceforth, this has now been made by authorities, it has been made applicable to all projects above 25 crores. Projects with less than 25 crore estimated cost are expected to voluntarily start doing this, because this gives them a very good project planning and execution tool, financial supervision, monitoring in the hands of promoter, and gradually, once the ecosystem is properly built, chartered accountants and the fraternity starts embracing the regulatory requirement, then it will be made applicable to all projects going forward. That is what authority has commanded in the circular 22 for means of finance. So friends, let me elaborate on this means of finance data population. Broadly speaking, means of finance is extrapolation of the requirements or the data items that you are, I am sorry it is fading out, but you are aware that the 5 items in the form 3 that is land cost, development cost, on-site expenditure, regulatory fees and charges, and interest cost. But when we try to attain a financial closure, we have to allow promoter to include other costs which are not part of form 3 but which are connected with the project, marketing cost, administrative cost, and other costs which are not included into Form 3. Ensure, because means of finance is because of financial is ensuring, so taken then mean to meet the project real estate project cost are two. One is promoter capital and the another is receipt from LOTs. ये दोनों के उपरांत borrowed resources लाते हैं promoter, short term borrowing, project loan and unsecured loans. ये तीनों का principal receipt, principal repayment and तीनों पे interest payout.
Pathak sir, we are finding some.
Broadly,
Pathak sir, we are finding some volume problem.
now chartered accountants are expected to issue
Hello?
their report on means of finance in compliance with the okay. So now it must be the network issue. Hello. Okay, I may turn off my video. Yeah, thank you. Good idea. Okay, now just give me a feedback. Just give me a feedback whether the voice is now coming proper.
Sir, it is proper, but if there is problem, I will again contact you. If there is some problem, but currently it seems that it's perfectly fine.
Thank
So go ahead.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. Yeah. So friends, this certification is to be issued by adherence to the standard on assurance 3400 as elaborated in the guidance note 4 of the Gujarat RERA as well. And the guidance note is pretty elaborate on each cost aspect and each receipt aspect, how chartered accountants are expected to ensure that land costs are populated on quarterly land cost liquidity estimate are to be populated on the basis of the project land cost planning in terms of development agreement or purchase deed or regulatory payouts for purchased FSI, their timelines. So land cost should be in sync with those contractual obligations and plannings. Construction cost is now expected to be in sync with the development plan as submitted by promoter in Form 1 through block wise start date and end date and project level activity plan. So expenditure on each activity should be estimated in sync with the activity execution plan timelines on quarterly basis. On-site expenditure, naturally they are in sync with activities on site. Regular payouts based on necessary regulatory applications to be made, their timing and their requirement. Now as we are in a financial closure planning, whatever the capital promoter anticipates to contribute should be put, whatever the sales projections promoter are planning should be properly put. Sales planning has to be in sync with the nature of project, type of project, size of project, area of project, demand aspects of similar projects in the locality of the project, geographical near vicinity. So all these aspects promoters are expected to keep in mind while demand projections, and chartered accountants shall examine them, satisfy themselves the projects are in sync with the appropriate and they are based on past experience of the promoter or the industry, and chartered accountants are satisfied that the projections are appropriate, then only they should allow in the mix of perhaps a liquidity aspect can be filled by project loan, working capital loan, or say unsecured loans. But on all these counts, the past performance of the promoter or the promoter entity over last 2 years or 3 years through their books of accounts, chartered accountants should satisfy themselves Sir,
I have requested Pathak
sound
sir.
is not proper.
Yes. So I have requested Pathak sir to
Hello?
get some. Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Voice connect from the try.
Yes,
Yes, I am changing the.
I have requested Pathak sir to change his net connectivity. So I request all to wait for a while, and then we can ask him to deliberate on last few 1 or 2 slides properly. So till the time he join, if you have any questions, you can post on the platform.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Now you can start.
Audible, sir?
Yeah, it's audible.
Okay. So friends, I was talking on bridging the liquidity gap through borrowed resources, if it is through unsecured loans or project loan or working capital loan, then chartered accountants should consider the past 2-3 years balance sheet of the promoter or promoter entity and satisfy themselves that the wherewithal for planned borrowed resources for the project are demonstrated in the past accounts. Now, friends, when we see all these aspects, now you can correlate with the requirements of RERA registration documentation. That for a project to be registered with Gujarat RERA or for any RERA under RERA Act, it is prescribed that past 3 years accounting and income tax related data and documents are to be submitted to authority. So this is precisely to judge and have a idea about the financial wherewithal of the real estate promoter, to demonstrate that. Just give me a minute, I have a call from Chairman Gujarat RERA. Okay, I am audible, sir? Hello?
Yes, sir, you are audible. You are audible.
Okay. So friends, we were discussing that all these documents required as part of project registration process have their own utility in project registrability assessment process at authority level. So no document or no data is required or asked from the promoters which are, or from consultants which are not put to productive use. So you can go through the guidance note for details on it. All data collected is utilized for a purpose. Here, let me share with you that under real estate registration, project registration process, promoters are free to indicate their their project end date. So there is this hilarious case has happened. That what would have happened? A promoter in Ahmedabad, maybe advised by his advisors, at the time of registration, he opted, in the initial period. Now, to RERA is not in current period. Now, authority is not registering any project for which promoter are indicating a unreasonable long period of time for project completion. But in the initial period in 2017-18, when much of the attention could not be placed on the reasonableness of time submitted by promoters, this promoter from Ahmedabad would have ended up showing project end date as 2027. Now Gujarat RERA got his project registered, and gradually, as the Gujarat RERA portal's ability improved, eventually all the information pertaining to a registered real estate project are now available in public domain. Gujarat RERA conducted a consumer awareness program also through billboards, advertisements, and FM radio channels. So now consumers are also aware. The lenders are also aware. Bank people, they are also resorting to Gujarat RERA portal for information on registered projects. And now this registered project promoter is finding himself in a difficult situation, because whenever his marketing guy tries to sell his project inventory, they would be promising some 2023-22 as project delivery date. But consumers are countering their claim कि आपने तो रेरा के साइट पे तो 2027 डाला हुआ है, तो लीगली तो आप तब तक टाइम ले सकते हो, तो अब हम आपको पैसा दे, बुकिंग करें, और फिर आप हमको तब तक नहीं पोजीशन दोगे तो क्या होगा? And then he is finding it very difficult to sell his property. And now he has approached authority with a request, okay, sir, I want to prepone my project end date. So friends, you must be able to visualize this marked change in a seller's market. hitherto sellers market, जो पहले sellers market हुआ करता था, promoter जो बोले वही होगा, promoter promise करे उसी को मानना है, आप उनको काउंटर नहीं कर सकते, चैलेंज नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन अब कंज्यूमर्स एम्पावर हो गए और अब प्रमोटर्स को भी ये मैसेज मिलने लगा है कि नाउ वी हैव टू डिफाइन द रूल्स ऑफ द गेम in a way which are acceptable to both the party who are going to play the game. So they cannot have unilateral framework of rules which is supportive to their project execution methodology or philosophies. So overall, friends, I have tried to bring the entire ecosystem of Gujarat RERA registration process. दो small aspect जो बाकी रहते हैं वो है project alteration application under section 14 and under section 15. Under section 14 project alteration तब होता है जब section 14(1) कहता है कि real estate project is to be built, developed, built and completed in compliance with the approved sanction plan. अगर प्लान में कोई डेविएशन है और जो मेजर डेविएशन है एज पर सेक्शन 14(2), क्योंकि उसमें कुछ माइनर डेविएशंस अलाउ किए हुए, अगर मेजर डेविएशन है, चेंज है, तो प्रमोटर को 2/3 ऑफ द एक्जिस्टिंग एलओटीज का कंसेंट लेना है और अथॉरिटी से भी अप्रूवल लेना है रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट में अल्टरेशन का। 2/3 एलओटीज का अप्रूवल लेके वो डेवलपमेंट रेगुलेटर को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं और उनका प्लान रिवाइज कर सकते हैं, और फिर 2/3 एलओटीज के कंसेंट और रिवाइज्ड प्लान के साथ उन्हें गुजरात रेरा को अप्रोच करना है और इन्वेंटरी जो प्रोजेक्ट रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट की जो इन्वेंटरी है उसमें ये अल्टरेशन को इफेक्ट लाना है, which may be in the form of increase in inventory or change in carpet area for registered inventory or both. So इस तरीके से प्रमोटर रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट के प्लान में अगर कोई चेंज है तो प्रोसेस फॉलो करके रजिस्टर्ड इन्वेंट्री में चेंज को अल्टर कर सकता है, एंड देन अल्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट will have to be completed by the original project end date. सेक्शन 14 के अल्टरेशन में प्रोजेक्ट एंड डेट का चेंज अलाउड नहीं होता है, और जब लेआउट प्लान चेंज होता है तो प्रोजेक्ट स्पेसिफिक सिनेरियोज क्रिएट होते हैं। गुजरात रेरा ने ऑर्डर 8 के अंदर सेक्शन 14 के अल्टरेशन के फ्यू ऑफ द इलस्ट्रेटिव सिनेरियोज दिए हुए कि कब रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट में अल्टरेशन होगा और कब a phased registration, a separate phase wise separate project registration करना होगा। So ये सब चीजें उस ऑर्डर में पिक्चोरल एक्सप्लेनेशन के साथ कंडीशनलिटी एंड प्रोसीजर की दी हुई है। So आपके लिए इंपॉर्टेंट ये हो जाता है कि आप ये ध्यान रखें कि अगर नॉन माइनर अल्टरेशन है, डेविएशन है इन प्रोजेक्ट प्लान, तो 2/3 LOT का कंसेंट लेना है। डेवलपमेंट रेगुलेशन अथॉरिटी के पास प्लान रिवाइज्ड प्लान अप्रूव करवाना है, क्योंकि आपको बीयू फिर रिवाइज प्लान के हिसाब से क्लेम करना होगा और वो उसी के हिसाब से आपको मिलेगा, क्योंकि आपका कंस्ट्रक्शन उस तरीके से होगा। और आपको रेरा रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट में इन्वेंट्री अल्टरेशन भी करवाना है, क्योंकि रजिस्टर्ड इन्वेंट्री के कारपेट एरिया में चेंज हो या इन्वेंट्री में इंक्रीज या डिक्रीज हो, इंडिविजुअली कुछ होता है या कलेक्टिवली सब कुछ होता है, तो रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट की इन्वेंट्री को चेंज करवाना जरूरी है। Section 15 allows transfer of liability of registered project by promoter of a registered real estate project to third party. इसमें भी 2/3 LOT का कंसेंट चाहिए और अथॉरिटी का प्रायर अप्रूवल चाहिए। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि गुजरात रेरा अथॉरिटी का रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में अगर प्रमोटर लायबिलिटी ट्रांसफर करना चाहता है तो प्रायर अप्रूवल चाहिए। एनी एक्शन towards transfer of liability without pre-approval of Gujarat RERA would tantamount to default on part of promoter, and there can be regulatory actions including imposition of penalty depending on the case specific circumstances and facts. So Gujarat RERA has internally devised the section 15 liability transfer procedure. अथॉरिटी ने ऑर्डर्स कर दिए, इंटरनल प्रोसेस सब तय हो चुके हैं। किसी भी प्रमोटर को सेक्शन 15 के तहत लायबिलिटी ट्रांसफर करनी हो तो गुजरात रेरा को अप्रोच कर सकते हैं और उनको अथॉरिटी के द्वारा हैंड होल्ड किया जाता है, अथॉरिटी ऑफिसर्स के द्वारा, कि कैसा प्रोसेस फॉलो करके डॉक्यूमेंटेशन करके वो अथॉरिटी का प्री अप्रूवल सीक कर सकते हैं और पोस्ट लायबिलिटी ट्रांसफर ट्रांजैक्शन द इनकम्बेंट प्रमोटर को कैसे गुजरात रेरा इकोसिस्टम में उस रजिस्टर्ड प्रोजेक्ट के लिए जिम्मेदार बनाते हुए रजिस्टर किया जाएगा और पब्लिक डोमेन में वो इंफॉर्मेशन कैसे आएगी। कंप्यूटर सिस्टम में ये चीज डेवलप हो रही है। जब गुजरात रेरा 2.0 अगले 1-2 महीने में हम पब्लिक डोमेन में ले आएंगे तो ये अथॉरिटी अप्रूव्ड प्रोसेस फॉर सेक्शन 15 भी पब्लिक डोमेन में आ जाएगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ सर्कुलर, और फिर पब्लिक डोमेन में ही आपको पता रहेगा कि क्या रिक्वायरमेंट्स है और कैसे गुजरात रेरा पोर्टल पे इलेक्ट्रॉनिक प्रोसेस को फॉलो करते हुए आप सेक्शन 15 एप्लीकेशन कर सकते हो। QPR क्वार्टरली प्रोजेक्ट प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट्स हमने रजिस्ट्रेशन के वक्त फॉर्म 1, फॉर्म 2 और फॉर्म 3 के बारे में एलोबरेटली डिस्कस किया है। हमने मीन्स ऑफ फाइनेंस के बारे में डिस्कस किया। इनमें से फॉर्म 1, फॉर्म 2 एनेक्चर दैट इज क्वालिटी सर्टिफिकेट फॉर रियल एस्टेट कंस्ट्रक्शन टेस्टिंग, दैट इज मटेरियल टेस्टिंग एंड क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस aspect to be certified by engineer. Form 1, Form 2, Form 2 annexure and Form 3 with a digital signature of chartered accountant. ये 3 चीजें क्वार्टरली प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट करके हर 3 महीने में एक बार प्रमोटर को सबमिट करनी होती है। सो उससे प्रोजेक्ट का प्रोग्रेस मॉनिटर होता है। टाइम लैप्स के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, प्रोजेक्ट प्लान के कॉन्टेक्स्ट में, अगर प्रोजेक्ट प्रोग्रेस एप्रोप्रिएटली रिपोर्ट नहीं हो पा रहा है, प्रोग्रेस डेमोन्स्ट्रेट नहीं हो रहा है आर्किटेक्ट सर्टिफिकेट, इंजीनियर सर्टिफिकेट से, तो अथॉरिटी उन प्रमोटर के साथ कम्युनिकेट करती है और कैसे उनके प्रोजेक्ट डेवलपमेंट को कैसे टाइम लैप्स के साथ सिंक किया जाए ताकि उनके प्रोजेक्ट एंड डेट से पहले डेवलपमेंट एक्टिविटी पॉजिटिवली कंक्लूड कर पाए। उसके लिए अथॉरिटी उन प्रमोटर्स के साथ 1-to-1 कम्युनिकेट करके नेसेसरी इंटरवेंशन इंश्योर करती है। फ्रेंड्स, क्वार्टरली रिटर्न के साथ ही आप बिल्डिंग ब्लॉक वाइज जो भी एनओसीज आती जाती है जो एट द टाइम ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं आई है, जैसे फायर एनओसी है जो पोस्ट कंस्ट्रक्शन लेनी होती है, लिफ्ट एनओसी है, व्यू परमिशन है, तो ये सब चीजें क्वार्टरली रिटर्न के वक्त रिपोर्ट हो सकती है। अगर उस वक्त नहीं हो पाई है तो प्रोजेक्ट एंड कंप्लायंस के वक्त भी इन सबको रिपोर्ट करना कंपलसरी है और इस तरीके से क्वार्टरली प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट चलता है। क्वार्टरली प्रोग्रेस रिपोर्ट में रेरा अकाउंट ट्रांजैक्शन ऑपरेशंस भी रिपोर्ट होते हैं। प्रमोटर 70% ऑफ द रिसीट्स रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम एलओटीज एप्रोप्रिएटली रेरा अकाउंट में क्रेडिट कर रहे हैं कि नहीं, वो भी उससे मॉनिटर होता है। चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स को प्रमोटर के रेरा अकाउंट के पासबुक वगैरह वेरीफाई करके, अदर डॉक्यूमेंट्स वेरीफाई करके अपने सर्टिफिकेट में ये डेटा ऑब्जेक्टिवली सबमिट करना है। अथॉरिटी में इन डेटा का स्क्रूटिनी एंड असेसमेंट होता है और जहां पे भी कोई डेविएशन है तो उन प्रमोटर्स के साथ 1-to-1 कम्युनिकेशन इनिशिएट किया जाता है। अथॉरिटी ने अपने ऑर्डर्स और सर्कुलर से बहुत सारे इनेबलिंग प्रोविजंस किए हैं ताकि चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट्स अपने सर्टिफिकेशन के लिए नेसेसरी डॉक्यूमेंट्स प्रमोटर के पास से अथॉरिटिवली सीक कर सके, डेटा सीक कर सके और डेटा स्क्रूटिनी एंड वैलिडेशन थ्रू एप्रोप्रिएट एविडेंसेस इंश्योर कर सके। फ्रेंड्स, एनुअल ऑडिट रिपोर्ट फॉर्म 5 में देना होता है जिसमें रेरा कंप्लायंस के एस्पेक्ट से 3 बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बातें हैं। वेदर द मनी necessary to be credited into separate account is credited by the promoter, whether the withdrawals are in compliance with the necessary certification that promoter has to seek from engineer, architect and chartered accountant, whether all withdrawals are within the limits as certified by chartered accountant, and RERA bank account operations are in compliance with the RERA banking directions. That is, promoters are allowed to make a fixed deposit of monies lying into separate account, but then that fixed deposit has to be in the same bank branch where the separate account is operated from. Now this fixed deposit has to be a non-lien fixed deposit as well. अगर उन्होंने ये इंटरेस्ट इनकम अर्न करने के लिए फिक्स डिपॉजिट किया है रेरा सेपरेट अकाउंट के पैसे को, ये तब होता है जब प्रमोटर का सेल्स बहुत बढ़िया चल रहा हो, उनका ब्रांड वैल्यू बड़ा हो, अच्छा हो, बहुत सारे यूनिट्स सेल हुए हो और उनको एलओटीज से अच्छी रकम कलेक्ट हुई हो, क्योंकि हर एलओटी के पास से 30% तो एट द टाइम ऑफ सेल एग्रीमेंट वो कलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। और फिर अगर वो कैश डिस्काउंट ऑफर कर रहे हो तो कुछ एलओटीज के पास से लमसम अमाउंट भी आ सकता है, अप टू 95%। और जब लिक्विडिटी सरप्लस हो और प्रोजेक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन टाइम लेने वाला है तो प्रमोटर फाइनेंशियल रिवॉर्ड के लिए एफडी कर सकते हैं, लेकिन फिर ये एफडी नॉन लियन होनी है, उस पे कोई लियन नहीं हो सकता, उस एफडी के सामने कोई शॉर्ट टर्म लोन भी नहीं लिया जा सकता। So chartered accountants are expected to monitor this aspect as well of RERA banking directions. गुजरात रेरा अथॉरिटी ने बैंकिंग डायरेक्शंस के द्वारा रेरा बैंक अकाउंट ऑपरेशन में चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के सर्टिफिकेट के तहत प्रमोटर्स को फुल ऑटोनॉमी दी है। यहाँ पे बैंकर्स हैव नो रोल बट टू ऑपरेट द बैंक अकाउंट in accordance with the banking regulations and negotiable instrument regulations. So this is a very empowering approach by Gujarat RERA regulator, जिसका फायदा सारे promoters को रहता है। उनकी procedural compliance requirements relatively कम रहती है। उनका डिस्क्रिशन फॉर appropriate use of money at their disposal when they are certified to be at their disposal by chartered accountants, तब वो उन्हें end use की freedom रहती है। So friends, banking regulations and some other conditionalities of RERA Act and rules are also to be certified by auditor in Form 5 Annual Audit Report. और ये Form 5 Annual Audit Report के Chartered Accountant, Statutory Auditor और Form 3 Certifying Chartered Accountant दोनों अलग होने हैं। ये अब fraternity में सबको पता है। It is very apparently clear. Objective यही है कि Form 5 के auditor ये भी देखते हैं कि पूरे साल पिछले पूरे फाइनेंशियल ईयर में जितने भी फॉर्म 3 इश्यू हुए हैं, फॉर्म 1, 2, 3 प्रोफेशनल्स ने जो सर्टिफिकेट्स इश्यू किए हैं, क्या वो सर्टिफिकेट्स इन कंप्लायंस विद द रेरा एक्ट रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हुए हैं कि नहीं, ये भी इन ऑडिटर साहब को देखना होता है। अथॉरिटी तो इन एनी केस किसी भी सर्टिफिकेट को क्रॉस एग्जामिन कर ही सकती है और सारे सर्टिफिकेट्स को, खास करके बड़े प्रोजेक्ट के सर्टिफिकेट्स को तो देखा ही जाता है और रैंडमली क्वार्टरली कंप्लायंस के सर्टिफिकेट्स को भी वेरीफाई किया जाता है फॉर appropriateness of submissions and certifications. So we have built an ecosystem which is non-intrusive. इंस्पेक्टर राज नहीं है, रेरा के यहाँ से कोई कहीं जाता नहीं है, एक्सेप्ट जहां पे प्रोजेक्ट प्रोग्रेस स्लो हो और प्रोफेशनल सर्टिफिकेशन में वो डेमोन्स्ट्रेट होता हो कि टाइम लैप्स हो रहा है लेकिन फिजिकल प्रोग्रेस नहीं हो रहा है, तो साइट विजिट के लिए रेरा की ऑफिस से जाते हैं। या नॉन रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट का जो डिफॉल्ट है, किसी ने प्रोजेक्ट काम चल रहा है लेकिन रजिस्ट्रेशन नहीं किया है, ऐसा कंप्लेन आता है, तो वहां पे साइट विजिट होती है। बाकी ब्रॉडली आर्किटेक्ट, इंजीनियर एंड चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट के सर्टिफिकेशन को, प्रोफेशनल सर्टिफिकेशन को वैल्यू किया जाता है, एक्सेप्ट किया जाता है और उसी के आधार पे प्रोजेक्ट प्रोग्रेस मॉनिटरिंग का सुपरविजन अथॉरिटी के द्वारा हो रहा है। सो फ्रेंड्स, दिस नॉन इंट्रूसिव रेगुलेटरी रिजिम इकोसिस्टम run by promoter, architect, engineer, chartered accountant and other professionals, quality engineer and other professionals, structural engineer or quantity surveyor wherever needed. When all of them work together as a team and demonstrate and ensure that all the necessary information in appropriate form and one which is reliable and transparently prepared वो share होती है, तो no promoter is expected to travel to Gujarat RERA office or no inspector from Gujarat RERA travels to the promoter's office or his site. This philosophy is termed as non-intrusive regulatory regime ecosystem by Gujarat RERA, backed by the Gujarat RERA portal, aimed at securing consumer interest, focusing on the three paramount aspect of construction as per plan, clear title transfer and timely delivery of real estate. And in case there is dispute, then all the processes, that proper documentation and registered nature of contract and other documents would enable the authority to meet the objective as specified in the act, that every grievance redressal has to take place through a summary proceedings, and within 60 days there should be a resolution or a judgment directive for the party in default to ensure the rights of the complainant. થોડું કપાય છે હજી? નજીક આવ્યા એટલે. Sir, am I audible? Can anybody respond?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay, fine. So sir, this is how I have tried to brief all participants of this webinar on the overall ecosystem of the Gujarat RERA. So the objective is to register a real estate project with all necessary and appropriate documentation, observing the project progress in the spirit of ensuring that the project gets completed by the timeline promised, and if needed, then only resort to dispute resolution, and in that scenario as well, timely dispute resolution. These are the objectives and thought process by which a holistic regulatory ecosystem is developed, and we are improving upon. We are working towards a very good software system which will be superior to the one that you people are observing or utilizing right now, that is Gujarat RERA portal. Going forward, chartered accountants will have an option to revise their quarterly returns. If some prima facie or clerical error has resulted in first submission, then you will get a second chance to revise your return as you normally have in case of income tax or GST or other regulatory regimes where you are expected to submit periodic returns. Friends, you will also have a portal system wherein all professionals will be able to prepare and submit their respective certificates within the system to the promoter, and through promoter's login, promoter will be able to submit the quarterly returns, so as to legally ensure that the quarterly return submission is the responsibility of the promoter and he has executed the same on Gujarat RERA portal. These are finer nuances. Chartered accountants are submitting their reports through digital signature. Engineers and architects will be henceforth going forward in the new system will have mobile OTP based verification protocol to ensure that whatever data they submit on Gujarat RERA portal in form of their certification is validated by them personally. Architects and engineers will have a mobile handset based RERA Sahyogi application having utility linked to Google Map and geotagging of geographical identification of their project site, so that the necessity of architects and engineer visiting the site for quarterly supervision, data collection and observation is met with by enabling them to take a picture using RERA Sahyogi application on site and submit it through that application directly, which would be available for them in their office on desktop login to append it to their quarterly certificates. So these are the nuances. The ticket module, where we are working on it. We are in the last phase of testing and then making it available for entire ecosystem and for all the stakeholders to benefit of the improved computer system. So friends, here I broadly conclude my RERA compliance related or RERA ecosystem related discussions and experience sharing. We will put this session to question answers on project alteration section 14, project alteration section 15, or means of finance certification, or RERA banking directions. Post the question answers, we will look on the we will discuss on the regulatory aspects of legal aspects of RERA Act provisions, what the Bombay High Court in its constitution upholding judgment, what High Court has pronounced, what the Amrapali judgment of Supreme Court has also highlighted on RERA Act provisions, and what is the interplay between IBC and RERA Act. On those legal aspects, we will have a small deliberation post this question answer. Now I request the host to open the question answer. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So the first question is for plotting project, when we have to file quarter and like in residential or commercial and mixed project, when we received BU, we can go for quarter and filing. So in plotting, quarter end will be what? That is what someone has asked. If you are,
You can, sir, you can resort to Form 4 of Gujarat RERA, and then you have all the information. Yeah.
Next question is, sir, once all the amenities are completed, like drainage, wall, street light, etc., you have to file Form 4A along with all the photographs, along with certificates of that engineer, architect, and chartered accountant. And also society formation is must for before filing for Form 4A. Pathak, sir.
Yes, sir. Form project end compliance is quarter end compliance process on portal, and project end compliance also envisages an affidavit by promoter demonstrating on oath that he has formed the society and handed over the administration as well. So you are right, everything is necessary.
So meaning thereby he has to form the society before filing forming.
Not only form, he has to hand over the administration of the society as
well. Oh. It's a big question, but let me go through it. Question 1, regarding execution of sale deed. Can a promoter execute sale deed before BU certificate and not agreement to sale as the LOT pays the full amount in one go? I guess we have deliberated on it. And what I understand,
we shall move to the next question, sir. It is
yes, sir, but
no shortcuts are allowed. You have to follow the letter and spirit of the law both.
Yes. Second is regarding formation of society. Formation of society is possible only in form of cooperative society under Cooperative Society Act or a Section 8 company. Or can the promoter form association of person or AOPs?
Sir, Order 13 is pretty much clear with all the supporting information. So only company under Section 8 and cooperative maintenance society are the only two options now available in Gujarat.
Yes, sir. And for the querist, I would like to say that the society or what you can say Section 8 company to showcase principle of mutuality also, and that's why it is very much important to form a cooperative society or Section 8 company. Now third question is regarding alteration. Is alteration possible if there is single plan which consists of 5 buildings, out of which 3 buildings have received BU certificate, that is completion certificate, and now the promoter wants to get the building who has received BU certificate out of RERA for the following reasons. If the project does not get complete in time, given the promoter will be held responsible only for 2 buildings for which BU certificate is not received, is not liable to deposit 70% of the amount in the RERA account.
Promoter has registered a project with five buildings. He has committed a promised date of delivery for all the 5 buildings in the project. Project end date encompasses or envisages completion of the entire project. So such part completions and part responsibility excuse are not possible, sir.
So the fourth question is regarding payment scheduling agreement to sale. If there is a mutual understanding between the promoter and LOT regarding the payment schedule clause, and they don't want the schedule to be in percentage of completion of project wise, but wants it to be as and when demanded by the promoter, is it possible to do that? Because LOT and promoter is agreeing mutually on it.
Receiving money as and when demanded and LOT agreeing for the same, there is a small clause in terms of extending compensation, economic compensation to LOT for advance payments. Now, so that means broadly it is allowed, but as and when promoter demands will be like a open-ended promissory note, which is not envisaged or should not be resorted to, because it will not stand the test of law in case if it is required, if the situation warrants. Now, irrespective of the fact that promoter gets the money, 70% of the money will have to be deposited into the RERA account, and the withdrawals have to be in sync with project progress as certified by architect, engineer and chartered accountant in light of expenditure incurred and paid. So without attaining physical progress on project on site, the promoter's ability to have access to money in excess of 30%, that what we have received from LOTs, is no way going to take place. And the Act and the Parliament has, through this very prominent provisioning of Section 4(2) LD, has ensured that in no circumstances, even hiding behind this mutual understanding sort of things, promoter will have access to money over and above what he has actually accomplished on ground.
So sir, I can say that as per the spirit of law, what we should have advised to our builder clients is that there should be a specific schedule to that. They can't just go open-ended, because the interest of innocent home buyers, one has to see in the mind, or it's a RERA centric approach. So while friends, you are dealing with your clients, what is the spirit of the law? Kindly look into it. Why this law is there? It is to procure the interest of innocent home buyers, and accordingly please advise your client instead of finding any way out of it. The next question is, if project is completed in due time and end quarter is also filed, whether RERA is issuing completion certificate for completed project? If yes, then what is the procedure to get that certificate? If no, then can RERA is in planning to do so, because it will boost the confidence of end user and builder as well.
Sir, Gujarat RERA is demonstrating all project information on Gujarat RERA portal in public domain. All projects which have submitted completion compliance in due time, we are in this new regime of software. LOTs will be able to see the BU permissions received and submitted by promoters for all completed projects, for which RERA has accepted the appropriateness of completion compliance. So any project which has passed or outlived its project end date and necessary project completion documents are not visible in public domain, then any consumer can very well conclude that the completion compliance is not carried out appropriately, or it is in the process, or RERA is yet to pronounce on it. Next.
Now, the next question is, if the project period is before January 2020, then the file does not automatically fetch the correct quarter details. Is it so?
Before
Yes, the
January,
question
then the
is not
file
very
does not
clear.
automatically fetch the correct.
If is it so, you can
This must be
look at it.
this must be a case specific question, sir. So this is not the forum.
Yes, yes.
You can approach RERA office.
Next question is, how CA can certify the assumption of means of finance? Means, how can he certify that promoter will be? Sir, I have circulated SAE 3400, which is clearly give the guidelines to the chartered accountants how we can certify these assumptions. That is a means of finance. So I can request him to look at the SAE 3500. Next question is, what is the meaning of associated entity or related enterprises for the calculating the LOTs under section 14?
Sir, the explanation to section 14 is pretty much clear, that promoter himself or family members or the business entities where he has business interest, they will be, or they should be considered as associated entities.
Yes, sir.
And this is something who can vote and who cannot. Promoter himself has to decide and demonstrate to authority. If he has resorted to some misinterpretation, then he is himself to be blamed for, and he stands responsible.
Yes, sir. The next question is,
so the interpretation should be conservative.
Great, sir. The next question is, estimated project cost is rupees 200, and if the project is completed up to 60%, then the withdrawal limit of the promoter will be which of the following? That is 0.60% of 200 or 70% of 0.6% of 200. That is 84. Because it's a total project cost 200, out of which 60% is only completed, and promoter can withdraw only if of the amount of expenditure incurred and paid, and not about any completion. That is what I can say to in
The
response to
is, yeah, the form 3 is very eloquently prepared. So you need not to bother for these percentages. You just put in the project completion percentage as certified by as calculated by the online form. We in respect to overall project cost and cost incurred and paid. So calculation is automatic. However, for your satisfaction, I would say it is in sync with option A.
If the project completion date has to be further delayed for genuine reason like this COVID-19, then what is the remedy available? How the same can be done?
Order 33 is specifically issued to provide reasonable remedy for this problem. Next. Order 33. Yeah.
Whether incurred and paid includes expenses incurred but not paid, means creditors or not. My dear friend, incurred and paid means whatever expenditure you have booked, and for that you have paid. So if there are creditors, then you are not required to consider the same. So I am moving to the next question, sir. If any promoter files completely false affidavit in the project completion compliance in the office of RERA, while in actual nothing is complied with, what is the consequences to promoter? Instead of promoter, if the LOT files any complaint to the RERA, I can say that the necessary action can be taken by the authority, and I don't know whether suo motu powers are available.
Sir, for
Yes,
every project and compliance submitted, RERA team internally is conducting an assessment process of project and compliance, and wherever there are prima facie evidence is available, communication with the promoters are initiated, and sooner or later you will start finding penal actions against such brave-hearted promoters as well.
And I also request the querist who has raised this question to, if anything is in knowledge, then please
They can
write
obviously,
to the
yeah.
authority. Yes.
Yeah, that is more appropriate, sir.
Yes. The question next question is, real estate sector is highly sensitive. It depends on the number of factors. Future plans may not turn up due to many factors. The projections made may turn to be absolutely wrong for many reasons. In view of that, it should be credit certified by only promoters and not by CA. Sir, while certifying means of finance, you may give your assumptions, and I guess if you read these SA 3400, you will be having much more clarity on these topics. So
and our guidance 4 as well, sir. Guidance 4. We have based guidance 4 on SA 3400, obviously, but to make it more real estate sector specific, guidance 4 will also be a useful document.
In one of the project registration applications, promoter had shown the net profit from the project to be around 65% of total sales realization of the project. Query had been raised by the RERA authority and asked to submit the clarification on the high profit margin. Is there any specific provision or rules as to what should be the maximum percentage of profit margin in the project? My answer to the querist is that though the RERA authority is asking question is only a justification. If you are operating on low profit margin, then also you are getting some queries from the authority, and if you justify yourself or your answers are being justified, then I don't think there will be any issue to this type of clarifications posed by the authority. Right, sir?
Yes. Any abnormality on either side, lower or higher, needs to be communicated with promoters so that they are also mindful that there are no clerical errors as such.
Yes. Next question is, in means of finance Excel sheet, promoter capital contribution and other borrowed fund are considered as inflow against the cash outflow of the project cost. Then why interest on partner capital is not considered in Form 3 CA certificate in interest payment column? That is 1C of Form 3. I guess we have deliberated on it, and so far as it's not basically academic questions, we can skip this. Why is the consequences of change in any partner or change in director on the RERA registration? What are the consequences of change, and whether any prior approval or approval after such change required to be informed to RERA?
Sir, if it is partnership from 1932, then it has a major consequence. You are aware under that act as well, so you have to report RERA. If it is in LLP, then also you have to report to RERA the changes in ownership of the entity. For private limited company or for company, change in directorship, as you report it to Ministry of Corporate Affairs, you are also expected to report it to RERA. As in case of NBFC, you report all these changes to RBI in over and above the principal governing act. So these are KYC informations, and any change in that post your project registration, you are expected to update your information with authority, and for that profile change applications are made available in the RERA portal in promoter login.
So meaning thereby, sir, if there are any changes, then it has to be reported to the authority. Sir, in how much time it should be reported? Is there any time limit?
It should be immediately, at the earliest.
Immediately.
Unreasonable time gap should not be there.
Okay. Okay. And sir, if someone is not reporting, is there any penalty?
Anything which is supposed to be reported and not reported, section 61 automatically 61, 62, 63 comes into picture.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you. Would you please once again explain means of finance which is required for project above rupees 25 crore? I can say, sir, due to some audio issues, they were not able to clearly hear
Never mind.
what you have
The
deliberated.
order,
So if you can deliberate.
or the circular original and the subsequent circular 90 and 20 or 90 and 21, if I am not wrong. Originally, it was made applicable to 50 crores and above. Then it was brought down, cutoff, estimated cost cutoff has been brought down to 25 crores and above. While we have kept it voluntary for all the promoters to prepare and submit, because we at authority consider it to be a very important tool to project execution and for mitigating the promoter liability. Because before RERA, there was no liabilities. Post RERA, if promoter promises a date and he misses a date, there is a huge liability in terms of section 18, wherein LOTs can simply opt to go out of the project and ask promoter to return all monies paid along with the interest. When promoter would be having
Yes.
a half-built project on his land site, so promoter will have no money to finish the project. In addition, he will have to pay back the LOTs with interest, which is a huge business risk, which no promoter would like to keep unmitigated, unhedged, if we use the financial terminology. So now, like in nuclear power plant, the liabilities of the reactor contractor, they are very worried about it, not about their not being able to meet the consequences in case of their reactor malfunctions. Their business model can go haywire. Similarly, not meeting the date of real estate delivery under RERA, the entire business calculation of promoter, not for the registered project, but for the other projects of the entity as well, his financial abilities and wherewithal can have a very daunting and severe effects. So means of finance is very important. It is aimed at risk mitigation for promoter and his entire business, and consultant, advisors and promoters should positively and objectively look to this risk mitigation tool and project execution tool
Yes,
instead
sir.
of regulatory compliance form.
Yes, sir. So now we have left with 5 questions. So I request let's take it fast. The next is in a plan layout. There were 3 blocks to construct. Out of which 1 block is constructed, BU obtained and possession given before RERA implemented. Now promoters' financial capacity is not good, and now builder would like to transfer the said project to another builder. In this case, consent of members of the first block is required to be obtained. Is it compulsory?
I presume the project is registered as ongoing project with Gujarat RERA. Project registered with Gujarat RERA must be having 3 blocks. So promoter was duty bound to finish all 3 blocks by the project end date. If he has taken any bookings in block 2 and block 3, then he is duty bound to those LOTs to demonstrate and hand over a completed real estate to them. If there are no bookings, then promoter shall approach Gujarat RERA for through project alteration application for deregistration of the blocks, and then he can proceed further. However,
So sir,
as per your specific query, that during the course of project transferring the part of the project to some another promoter, it doesn't seem appropriate. The option does not seem appropriate in a given case.
yes, sir. So here he is not required to take the consent of first block if he is changing the promoters. So there is a transfer.
He cannot promoters as such. So he has to approach to the authority for deregistering the
Yes.
blocks that he has not constructed, because otherwise he will be in default of his original project registration promise.
So, yes, sir. So meaning thereby there is no requirement to get consent from the members of the first block. Yeah, right? First block
There is a
members.
there is a requirement to demonstrate project completion to authority, and if there are any changes, he should approach the authority to encompass them first.
Yes, sir. Next question is, can quarter form 1 architect certificate and quarter form 2 engineer certificate is signed by another architect or engineer which was mentioned at the time of RERA registration form or not? So while applying, there was one another architect, and then afterwards that architect is no more, and builder wants to get it certified with some another architect. Is it possible or not, sir?
All form 1, 2 and 3 can be signed by appropriate, properly eligible professionals quarter on quarter, and every quarter the professional can be different.
Perfect.
But they have to be eligible for certifying respective certificate.
Yes, sir. QPR is to be submitted quarterly. Suppose a promoter is required from 1, 2 and 3 after 1 month of QPR submitted. All 3 certificates are issued and promoter had withdrawn from bank account accordingly. Now in the next quarter, in form 3, some are the auto-populated, the system and CA cannot change. How the CA can show in the next quarter about amount withdrawn from bank account, opening balance of bank account, whether from the last quarter or last form 3 issued in between? Please clarify.
Now say for first quarter you have submitted your QPR for the month of January, February, March on 7th of April. Now by 7th of May you have exhausted your limit and you have again obtained form 1, 2, 3 based on the collections you have had made in that month, and considering that you have attained the project progress, all 3 professionals will give you an enhanced limit. For a promoter who could ensure an enhanced limit within 1 month, that is from April to May, he would naturally will have enhanced limit possibilities by the end of month May and June. At the end of June, by 7th of July, he is supposed to file the next quarterly report. Now the second intermittent, within the quarter, he is now having more than 1 QPR, more than 1 withdrawal certificate cycle. So the reported form is quarter 1, intermediate form is withdrawal certificate obtained by him in the month of May and the June, and he has again asked for a new certificate from engineer, architect and chartered accountant. The chartered accountant issuing June certificate is always aware of existence of quarter 1 certificates and the intermittent certificate. He can ensure that from quarter 1 to June, the cumulative figures for certificate are appropriate so as to meet the system requirements.
Yes, sir.
In alternate, promoter can opt not to have for June certificate, and the May certificate can be submitted as second quarter certificate if they are not more than 1 intermediate certificates during quarter. Thank you, friends. Now let us resort to the legal aspects on various court pronouncements. Now it is visible on the screen, sir?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes. Yes, yes. It's visible.
Okay. So important judgments that I am going to brief you about, and then we will have a small deliberation if time permits, are Bombay High Court judgment upholding the constitutional validity of RERA, popularly known as Nilkamal Realtors judgment. Honorable Supreme Court judgment throwing light on nuances of RERA provisions through a judgment in July 2019, popularly known as Amrapali judgment. And Honorable Supreme Court throwing light on interrelation between RERA and IBC provisions. August 2019, popularly known as Pioneer Urban Land Judgment. Now, friends, the Nilkamal judgment, through the Nilkamal judgment, Bombay High Court very lucidly upheld the objectives or interpreted the objectives of Parliament and legislators with respect to scheme of RERA and the perspective. It upheld that central government did the appropriate process. Parliament is competent to enact the law. It also highlighted the fact that by promoter, all the necessary formalities needs to be completed. Application could be presented for registration, which is complete in all respect. So the importance of submission of all necessary permissions and appropriate legal documents is upheld by the Honorable Court as well. The section 42LC, that is the date promoter's declaration of date, the Honorable Court has interpreted the requirement as that declaration has to be given by the promoter in respect of the time limit during which the promoter would complete the development work. In case the promoter mentions unreasonable period to complete construction, certainly the authority would not register such an application of the promoter and issue necessary directions to the promoter, taking into consideration the facts of each case. So friends, Honorable Court has very explicitly interpreted the inherent powers of the authority with respect to promoter's ability to decide project and date. While prima facie, the right to decide project and date lies with promoter, the authority there is a reasonable restriction on this right of promoter to decide project and date through appropriate intervention by the authority at the time of project registration to see to it that promoters are not resorting to unreasonable time period. Gujarat RERA authority is now actually carrying out its registration process in spirit of this requirement based on type of project, size of project, nature of project, locality, overall project size, carpet area to be constructed. If promoter is resorting to a project end date which is not commensurate with the similar kind of projects, similar group of projects, then authority is communicating with the promoter, sharing the details of information with them. And I am happy to share with you that once this information is shared, more often than not, every promoter are wise enough and they objectively reconsider their project end dates and they accept the normal market practice of delivery by a reasonable time period. Honorable Court also pronounced the constitutionality of section 18, 38, 59, 60, 61, 63, 64. Basically from section 59 to 64 are clauses or provisions with respect to defaults under RERA by any of the subject that is governed, that is allottees, promoters or agents, and the authorities powers to impose penalty on them to improve the behavior under the act and under the contract. Friends, section 42 LD, that is 70% money to be deposited into separate bank account. This requirement has also been interpreted by Honorable Court. The purpose behind framing this provision is to see to that amount collected from the allottees by the promoter is invested for the same project only. The promoter shall not be entitled to divert the said fund for the benefit of other project or for utilization as per desire of the promoter. So the discretionary use of resources is not permitted. Now or now it has been restricted to only 30% of the amount received from LOTs. Promoter has to keep 70% of the monies in a separate bank account that can be withdrawn only by chartered accountant certificate demonstrating proportionate completion of project based on certificates of architect and engineer, and the withdrawals permitted are strictly in sync with expenditure incurred and paid. So there shall be no duality of claim on money available in separate account. There cannot be creditors that I have supplied steel, cement, bricks, sanitary ware, and now promoter has not paid me. First you pay me off, then only you can proceed on remaining work to be carried out on a stalled project. Any project stalling at any stage or any time during the course of execution would have developed, half developed or partially developed real estate backed by money lying in separate account, or claims yet to be made from LOTs, which they can always prospectively provide into separate account, and separate account can be utilized for ensuring the completion of the project while debarring the promoter from the real estate through section 7 and section 8 operations. So friends, this separate account incurred and paid requirement certification for withdrawal limit only up to percentage completion attained on site physical development through physical development. This is a very important provision. Banking directions issued by Gujarat RERA authority are also for ensuring appropriate monitoring of these separate accounts and to ensure that the resources pulled by LOTs towards construction of their real estate are appropriately protected so as to be eventually apportioned or applied towards the real estate developed. Going forward, all these provisions are the interpretation, how the RERA Act is to be interpreted, or for that matter any act is to be interpreted. Honorable High Court, while upholding the constitutional validity of RERA Act, has observed that it is a rule now firmly established that the intention of the legislator must be found by reading the statute as a whole. Every clause of a statute has to be construed with reference to the context and other clause of the act, so as far as possible to make a consistent enactment of the whole statute or series of statutes relating to the subject matter. So friends, this is a very important pronouncement. You must have heard about a Gujarat High Court judgment interpreting the requirement of mentioning RERA project registration number and RERA portal website address in any prospectus or any advertisement issued or published by the promoter. Here the Honorable High Court in an oral judgment pronounced that the term "or" is to be interpreted in legal parlance through interpretation of words or definition of the term, and for that Honorable Court had pronounced that the "or" is disjunctive in nature, and so if promoter has shown project registration and RERA portal website either in prospectus or in advertise, it is sufficient and appropriate compliance of the requirements of the law. However, Gujarat RERA made a special request to Honorable Gujarat High Court to reconsider its order. Hearing has taken place. Honorable High Court has reconsidered their oral order. The submissions of Gujarat RERA were broadly in sync with what you are seeing on your screen. The interpretation of RERA clauses are to be carried out as holistic interpretation for the purpose of remedy it intends to provide or mischief that it was intended to remedy. And Honorable High Court has withdrawn the oral order. So as of now, the detailed judgment is yet to come out, but as on date, the RERA registration number and RERA portal website address are to be prominently mentioned in every advertisement or prospectus. If the medium is audiovisual, then the RERA advertisement guidelines are to be followed, which are issued through circular. So this Nilkamal Realty judgment is very important for all these aspects. The judgment also specifies very good light on operationalization of Section 7 and Section 8 and inherent powers of the authority with respect to deregistering promoter from the project, getting hold of separate account, allowing the freezing the separate account first, then defreezing the separate account for project execution purposes through association of LOTs or government authority or by appropriate person decided by the authority, keeping LOTs in consultation, or by the same promoter if the LOTs and the authority are agreeable for the purpose. And if the promoter is debarred from project, then what happens to the legal title of the land or development rights for the land? How the incumbent association of LOT or incumbent promoter or incumbent state government authority would ensure development construction work of the project, and how eventually the title of the land and apartment gets transferred, and what are the liabilities of promoter towards that. That is what court has thrown light on, and I have put the excerpts of the judgment on your screen. So friends, this is a very important judgment to understand the scheme of RERA. If you can spend some time, it is very enriching to read and understand the objective, perspective and overall scheme of RERA through reading this Nilkamal Realty judgment. So I would recommend all the members who are attending today's webinar to go through it. Cancellation of RERA registration for defrauding home buyers. Amrapali judgment. The Supreme Court cancelled the registration of promoter, empowered the central government organization NBCC to attain the project completion. It, without mincing words, Honorable Supreme Court highlighted the lapses of Noida and Greater Noida authorities, and it also highlighted the lapses on the part of bankers as well. It prohibited the local authorities controlling the land, development authorities controlling the land, and bankers who had provided the project loans to project from resorting to sale of unsold inventory or sale of booked inventory as well, for which LOTs would have taken their personal home loans and would be paying their EMIs. This judgment has a far-reaching implications on RERA implementations. To encompass the spirit of this judgment, Gujarat RERA Authority has, through Form 3 certification of Chartered Accountant, try and capture this aspect that for a Gujarat RERA registered project, no inventory can be twice sold, that is sold to more than one LOT, or no inventory can be twice mortgaged, that is first it is mortgaged as a project loan to project loan banker, and then it is subsequently mortgaged by LOT for his personal home loan purposes. Gujarat RERA compliance ensures that AFS is entered into only after promoter has secured no objection certificate or mortgage charge release certificate from project finance lender to whom the stock of the or the apartments of the project are mortgaged as security. So Gujarat RERA Form 3 compliances and other compliances are actually designed, devised, keeping in mind these prominent landmark judgments pronounced by Honorable Supreme Court and Honorable High Court. Now friends, on RERA versus IBC, under section, broadly you all are aware that since last amendment, the remedy available to real estate LOTs under IBC has a reasonable restriction that at least 100 LOTs or 10% of the total number of LOTs of a real estate project will have to get together, and then only they can file a winding up application under IBC. However, remedies under RERA are amply available, simultaneously available to promote LOTs of real estate. Friends, very important aspects here are to be elaborated. Today we have reached 5 o'clock. I would request host that tomorrow before the panel discussion, if they tomorrow means next session, before we resort to panel discussion, everybody would have gone through this presentation. In first 5 to 10 minutes, I will narrate my understanding of this interplay and how going forward they would be playing a decisive role, because both this IBC and RERA are evolving jurisprudence and they have definite interplay, interreliance, and similar objectives. IBC objects to sustain the business and sustain the interest of all stakeholders, and RERA intends to sustain the interest of real estate LOTs and real estate business as a whole. So friends, allow me 10 minutes in the next session to elaborate on my understanding of this interplay. By the time these experts I have collated for you in this presentation, you can go through. If found appropriate, you can go through the appropriate judgments as a whole for better understanding. And today I am now bringing the session to halt. If at all host finds appropriate, we can go few of the questions if required. Thank you, friends.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I can say here that whatever views and discussion happened here is on the academic front, and this is not an opinion or any view of the authority or Chartered Accountant Institute. So what are we discussing here, deliberating here, is a personal view, and for
Yes,
the
very right, sir. Very right.
knowledge dissemination, do not consider it as the view of the authority or of a CA institute. One has to take calls according to their own
professional judgment,
knowledge and own judgment. Yes, sir. So we have completed the questions, but I guess there are some more questions, and one of the prominent question is that, sir, if I have not received BU, or builder has not received BU, can he entered into a sale agreement or not? So if you can deliberate for 1 or 2 minutes on that, because I'm getting my PPT open.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
Model agreement for sale as prescribed by Government of Gujarat through Gujarat RERA General Rules Annexure A and clause 2 in it depicting the project receivables timeline. Builder can collect monies up to 90% before BU, and rest 5% can only be demanded collected post receipt of BU and simultaneously with execution of sale deed. So he cannot take money before receiving the BU, and he has to execute sale deed and hand over the possession as he received the 100% of the consideration.
Yes, sir. Now I am ready with my PPT on the question. So the next question is, sir, after filing quarter end, that is last quarter of my project properly, any other procedure on promoter's part remains? Is there any communication that your project is complete required to be made?
Project end compliance submission is sufficient compliance from promoter.
Next question is whether only change in carpet area required application of project alteration. Kindly note that there is no change in inventory, only change in carpet area.
Annexure, model agreement for sale annexure allows marginal changes in because of the construction work and the timeline in which they are carried out, generally some material change or something. So it allows marginal change to the extent of 3% of the carpet area of real estate agreed with the LOT for his apartment. If the changes are above that, then the promoter is required to compensate the LOT, or LOT is required to compensate the promoter, because changes can be on either side. However, which are the changes which warrants project alteration are very elaborately and eloquently expressed in section 14 subsection 2. So I would request the querist to read section 14 subsection 2 again. Change of wall, change of dimension of wall, these are the changes which are considered major alteration in plan, and if that happens despite no change in carpet area, plan alteration and then subsequent project alteration is necessary, because otherwise BU permission, ensuring BU permission will become difficult for promoter, and subsequent compliance with RERA will also be jeopardized, and he may find himself on the wrong side of the law and he may be penalized for the same.
Sir, the next question is no change in plan as inventory. Just the first QPR is wrong. Can we change the same, and how?
Sir, this I presume to be a data entry error. In a current 1.0 system, any data entry error from the end of chartered accountant, concerned consultant can approach RERA office, and RERA office has devised a mechanism by which necessary documentation is to be carried out, and then they can change the data in database. So it's a stringent process, because we have to open the database for promoter and consultant to change it. So it has to take place at RERA office in supervision of RERA officials, but it is allowed. However, going forward in RERA 2.0, that to address this issue only, we intend to allow you a revised return submission window.
Sir, the next question is the meaning of LOT. If I have paid only 5% of agreed price, then am I in LOT? The plan has not been executed yet. I am LOT.
Sir, if you have paid 1 rupee token, you are an LOT.
Yes, sir. Pathak sir. Yes.
If you
Sir,
have
the next
paid 1
is,
rupee
sir,
token to the promoter, you are an LOT.
Sir, the next question is falls in the lockdown period, and due to that reason, application for formation of cooperative society cannot be made, and the due date for filing and quarter is over. What is the remedy? In 33 number circular have addressed to such
Sir,
situations.
for COVID period affected projects through our order, we have already extended through order 32. We have extended the project end date and compliance submission date to 7th of May. And considering the current scenario, you can reasonably expect a second round of time period extension. However, I cannot commit myself because authority is yet to pronounce their order.
Yes, sir. Sir, what we want from you is only answer and not as the authority sitting
Yes, but
in the
sir,
era. So whatever
I understand, but the tone and tenor of the question at times indicates that the querist is
Yes,
reasonably expecting some information from authority and also. So I am digressing on certain aspects, but yes, overall broadly, this webinar are my personal views, and you shall not and must not quote them as authority views.
There is fees for the quarterly returns and late fee of rupees 10,000 for late submissions. Is this late fee condonable for reasonable cost?
No, sir. Since last 3 years, I have not come up with a reasonable cause for not submitting a quarterly return.
Sir. Yes, sir. Sir, the next question is, sir, project was completed and possession was handed over before implementation of RERA, that is in 2014, and still administration charge is not handed over by the promoters. So administrative society has not been handed over by the promoters. Can member complain to RERA?
Complaining to RERA, if they have not resorted to any consumer forum or they are not resorting to a forum shopping, then they have their legitimate right to come to RERA's doorstep, and authority will take appropriate view based on the merits of the case.
So the next question is there any time limit for passing the order after completion of the hearing by RERA authorities?
Friends, this is the prerogative of the bench, so I would not like to comment upon it.
Then next question is, can quarterly return quarterly 1 or 2 engineer other than, I guess you have given answer to this. This seems to be a pretty big question. In one case, X Limited, a developer has estimated the construction cost of rupees 100 at the time of project registration. However, due to poor market condition, the developer has changed the strategy to build and reduce the construction cost estimated by 25%. Now, in that case, architect in form 1 shows 90% of work completed, actual expenses incurred to be 60, and engineer 60% work completed. CA, as per books of account, shows expenses incurred rupees 55. However, rupees 20 are unpaid creditors, and hence shown expenses incurred and paid to rupees 35. Now, in these circumstances, there is no coherence apparently between form 1, 2, and 3. How CA can report in form number 3? So, is there any disclosure which a CA is required to make while filing his form 3?
Form 3 allows the certifying chartered accountant to submit his notes and observations. The very hypothetical note visible on screen can become additional submission to Form 3, and then certificate can be submitted to Gujarat RERA.
Thank you, sir. The next question is, if the actual cost of project exceeds the estimated project cost mentioned in form 3, then can we amend estimated project cost later on? I guess you have deliberated in last cost exceeds or decreases. I guess there is no issue of provided the builder or a promoter has acted upon what is promised to the buyers. Am I right, sir?
Yes, you are right. But only I would like to add that irrespective of the increase in incurred and paid cost, the maximum limit that promoter would be allowed to withdraw out of separate account is kept at total estimated cost of the project.
Perfect. Next is if a promoter files a false affidavit during completion. I guess we have taken it.
We have
In the
addressed
first
this question. Yes.
Instance. Yeah. While calculating expenses incurred and paid for Form 3, can we include advances paid to suppliers against which no provision is made in the books of account?
Sir, this is
So I have
something
not
chartered
received
accountants.
So I have paid only advances. I can say that it's not basically.
It is not incurred because advance, when you pay in advance, the expenditure is not incurred. And if you have incurred and you don't pay, then expenditure is not paid. So you have to ensure that expenditure is incurred and paid.
Whether structural engineer can file Form 2, I guess who is registered with the local authority can able to sign.
Eligibility, yes, eligibility is local authority registration, empanelment.
The question asked regarding the payment schedule in ATS, sir, practically it is getting difficult to go by the payment schedule that is there in model form of ATS because it is difficult for LOTs too, and in fact LOTs are asking to remove the schedule and keep it simple, that is as and when demanded by the promoter. And yes, the clause also says that 95% of the amount to be paid before we survey. I guess we have deliberated on it, and with the spirit of law, that is not permissible. So now we are going to next question. Whether structural, okay, it is the same one. Whether a builder is allowed to do sale deed of unit to LOT before BU permission, I can you have discuss on it. Sale deed can be executed, however, it clearly mentions that once BU permission is received, the possession will be given.
But can there be a sale deed without possession? Sale deed without
so
possession
sale deed and possession both are
coterminous.
it is yes. So sir, we have discussed and deliberated all the questions which were posted by 5 PM today. Friends, now I request you, yes sir, friends, now I request you to come with your questions, or you can post your questions on our ICAI.org, so we can compile all those questions, and we are having a panelist, CCMC Aniket Talati, who can give and guide us on the front of institute, and whereas Pathak sir, from his experience and knowledge of RERA. So I request all to just try to send your email, take it in next panel discussion and the last session. So friends, we herewith conclude this 4th day webinar. So I request all to be at home, घर में रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, खुश रहें और मस्त रहें. So thank you very much, Pathak. We are now concluding.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.